Tom Homan dropping a nuke on Morning Mika after she accused ICE of disappearing migrants.
You using the term disappearing people
well,
is
that's
disgusting.
What's happened. That happened to the group that was sent to El Salvador.
U.S. citizens get arrested every day. U.S. citizens get arrested by police every day. Are they being disappeared? No, their laws are being enforced. They're being arrested. They're being put in detention because they committed a criminal offense.
Not like what you're doing.
Not
even close.
We're enforcing the law and arresting people here in violation of law that are public safety threats. That's not disappearing people. That's enforcing the laws of this country and making this country safer.
You jerks. And ICE will be disappearing more criminal migrants after launching Operation Midway Blitz in Chicago. Tried to disappear myself.
I thought you left. I was like,
no, I tried to disappear myself. They would come back. I wouldn't be there. But they screwed me over, Dana. No sense of humor. Boy, Homan, you know what the thing is? She seems so confident in her ignorance. Hasn't she learned from the election, from the 4 years of Biden, that they have no credibility on any issue?
Well, the other thing is, first of all, Tom Homan, he's a force of nature.
Yes.
He is willing to talk to anyone. He goes on that New York Times podcast, The Daily, and does such a nice, calm job. But that's usually kind of a more respectful interview, right? I think that when you're interrupted constantly, Jessica's like, yeah, I know. It's frustrating because you're trying to get your words out. But Tom Homan is this force of nature, and he says, let me tell you exactly what happens. It's because he's not like up and above the clouds, like not in touch with what his people are doing. And she does feel very confident. And you can tell because she's like, how dare you respond to me like that? And she's very annoyed. I don't know if he could see her, but what he's basically saying is that I've got the facts, I've got information. Now, I do think that the administration could do a slightly better job of explaining some of these things on occasion, because I'm sure that Mika and Joe have somebody in their lives that they know who they thought was legal, they thought was going through the process. That person, oh, it's too bad because they're working so hard. And there are a lot of these stories. And the bottom line is the Congress has failed to figure out a way to improve the system. The Congress refused, Democrats in particular, refused to go to Trump when he said, I'll help the Dreamers. In 2017, they said, no, we don't want to help the Dreamers. If you are going to help the Dreamers, we only want to help the Dreamers ourselves. And now the Dreamers don't get helped. And guess what? The Dreamers are here illegally. So if you can go down and you can say, yeah, there are problems. I think the administration at this point is well within the bounds of asking somebody in Congress to produce some sort of legislation, because President Trump wants to solve things. You mentioned yesterday, he'll talk to anybody.
Yeah.
So why don't they just reach out a hand and say, we've got these problems? And I think that, like Mika and Joe, they could be a force for good in that regard. But
it's too late. Too late. They're irrelevant. Kayleigh, the Democrats are always engaged in this thing called word thinking. So somebody gets deported or arrested, they use the phrase disappearing, and we're all supposed to go, ooh, this is clever and scary. Disappearing people. It's a terrible word, by the way, but it makes them feel smarter. And that's why I think she was more defensive about the fact that she had this precious point she had to make.
Yeah, and she neglects to say the federal government has plenary power on the issue of immigration. They are doing things legally and above the board. And I assume Mika Brzezinski, I know she's at far left NBC, but go to maybe a little less far left, but just almost there, left CNN, and you'll find Ellie Honig. There's nothing state and local authorities can do to legally prevent federal law enforcement agents like ICE from doing their business. Mika doesn't want to hear that. That clip goes on for about a minute and a half. And Mika sits there just staring at the camera as Tom Homan lists all these stories of illegal immigrants, their criminal backgrounds by name, a pregnant woman who was assaulted. And she just sits there staring. She doesn't know what to say. And then they pop up Jonathan Lemir's face. I think that's who hosts the early morning show, is in the White House press corps. And I think it's him, too. They're just staring. They don't know what to say. Tom Homan brings his facts. He brought specific cases. He pointed out with Mornings with Maria, 70% of those who have been taken by ICE have criminal records. 30% are suspected gang members without criminal track records. That guy, Dana, you're exactly right. He is a rock star. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, you know, Jesse, Homan had specific cases, but also the gross statistics. Here's how many they are, but he had specifics. Is it, again, his fault or our fault for noticing these things? Are we, again, politicizing a woman killed by an illegal drunk driver? Should we be blamed for that, too?
Yeah. So they destroyed the country with migrants, and I have a problem with the way we're handling it. You can sit this one out, and I mean you, Jessica. I don't care about disappearing. I'm not even offended. Tom Homan shouldn't have been offended. So what? Yeah, they're disappearing from the country. Exactly. That's what we were elected to do. Make these people, poof, disappear. Dana brings up an excellent point. I cannot believe I was last to bring this up. All he's doing is enforcing the law. If Democrats don't like the law, they can change it in Congress. Yep. If you're an illegal alien in this country without the right paperwork, ICE can go pick you up and disappear you. It's not that complicated. And they can do that with someone at a Home Depot, an abuela. They can do that with someone that just crossed the Rio Grande. It doesn't matter. Now, you can nitpick. This person's been here 15 years. This person just got here. This person's never molested a child. They just killed someone in a car. We don't need to adjudicate every single illegal alien's criminal history. If they don't have the paperwork, they don't belong here. I'm sick and tired of having to deal with all these specific individuals. That's what we mean when we say mass deportation. They're all going out. And as a matter of fact, they're not going out fast enough. They should be going out way faster. And isn't it funny how they haven't had one mistake? Not one mistake.
What?
They haven't deported a single American citizen. Not one. All you can point to, your one guy is a Maryland dad that beats his wife and traffics children. That's your guy. That's your mistake. That's your guy.
No.
I think they're batting 1,000. Prove me wrong. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.